Hey everybody, Asher here, back with more Hearthstone, and today we're taking a look at Aggro Druid featuring Fel Reaver. So the title of the deck is which if you've played any kind of Burning Crusade, you'll know exactly why that sound strikes terror into many WoW players. Now this is a deck that I've been trying to wrap my head around a bit because I am very much a control and tempo style player, and aggro is something that I still need some work on, so I'm happy for any feedback you have during the video while you watch it. A lot of people are very high on this deck, a lot of pros are very high on this deck, and I did actually try and record a video of this previously, but I think what I came to the conclusion of as I was recording was I was somehow approaching the deck incorrectly. So I am using the most updated list by the creator of the deck, and I hate that I'm losing and forgetting his name right now. But I'll look that up and tell you at the beginning of the first game. The biggest thing is that it features 2 Fel Reavers and a bunch of stuff to try and assert early board control. Some changes from the list you might have seen are 1 Abusive Sergeant and 1 Leper Gnome, and then running 2 Savage Combatants instead of 1 Savage Combatant, and no double combo, only 1 Force of Nature. Now, I've watched a few other players play this, and some of the interesting kinks about the deck is that you will not necessarily rely on the Force Savage Orc combo to end the game, which I was holding on to those cards way too much, which created some misplays. So we'll see if I can actually put the aggressive back in aggro and hopefully bring this deck to some success in ranked play. Let's find out. Okay, as I said, this deck was made by somebody by the name of Cursed. He got it up to Legend in rank 1, and he still is running the deck. And this is versus Paladin, and there are some things that I definitely want versus Paladin. One of the things when I was testing this deck, kind of playing it poorly before, was that I didn't run into a single Paladin. I ran into a bunch of mages, and they all had Flame Cannon, Fiery War Axe style. But this has actually gone from a okay opening to a really good opening. I do have a Darnassus' Spirit that I can play possibly right away. Interesting. That could change my plans just a little bit. What else can I do? I may want to save that Innervate for another thing, or I could just do the really greedy play and see if I can get the 50-50. Or we can just play it safe, Innervate Hero Power. It's not the sexiest thing in the world, but versus a lot of Paladins, that's what you want to do. Now, like I said, South Sea Deckhand, not a deck card you typically see in Paladin, so I'm a little concerned about what I might be facing, but I still am in rank 13. I've been testing around a lot of different decks. I haven't really been trying to rank up this season. My goal is kind of, because my work schedule has been so crazy, my goal is really to kind of figure out some decks that I like to take in the next season. So by all means, if you have some suggestions, feel free to throw them my way. Alright, now I'm not terribly threatened by that. We can just drop a Knife Juggler or a Druid or the Saber.
Night on the prowl.
I'm very, like I said, I'm very tempted to go for the good juggles.
For a loot.
I'm going to see how much pressure I can get on here. Plus I can Knife Juggler Leper Gnome later on. And I'm still, well, now we are in Consecration Land if he does elect to coin Consecrate. But looks like he's trying to do something else. It's the True Silver Champion. Alright. Well, this is where part of our goal for this game is to put as much pressure on face as possible. So we do have Savage Roar, which is good. We are, in fact, going to just put a bunch of stuff on the board and hope he doesn't have Consecrate. I could have Hero Power there to try and conserve my hand count, but we are going to see if I can get the most out of a Savage Roar if he doesn't have Consecrate. If he does have Consecrate, then we can live in a factory of sadness created and featuring my dogs eating in the background, which is weird because I fed them last night and they only want to eat about 14 hours later. Really? Okay. He must be pretty worried about the extra damage. That's weird. Hopefully I'll get a better play with my mana. Okay, I got a warning. Card not found in the deck, Abusive Sergeant. That's true. Abusive Sergeant is definitely not in the list that I have right now, so I'll have to adjust that for the Hearthstone deck tracker in a little bit. Could be a really good Savage Combatant turn next turn.
For the wild.
And then I can play around Divine Favor by dropping Sergeant, but that's cost me a little bit of reach. So we'll just keep it like this. Play it a little safe. No Fel Reavers in hand. So we'll, like I said, I'll adjust that by the time till sudden second true silver. That's exciting for him. Because that means my Savage Combatant's not going to be nearly as good next turn. Well, there's the Innervate I didn't need. Let's get some pressure out of him. We can't just sit and wait for like the right turn. Okay, I don't know if my computer's just disconnecting as it tends to do sometimes. And as fun as it would be to innervate something, that's still 5 face damage that he takes if he attacks and the True Self is granted it heals for 2. Yeah, I hope you're enjoying the nice munching and crunching sounds in the background. Maybe I can top deck my 1 Force of Nature. And we can just end this one, but I have a feeling that's not going to happen. Let's see. Like I said, South Sea deckhand's kind of throwing me for a curve here. I'm not exactly sure what I'm looking at in terms of deck, but... Is that lethal? 2, 4, 6, 8. 2 off. 2 off. 1 off, actually. Because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Alright. That's the usual game that we play here, so I guess what we're going to do...
Get in there and fight, maggot!
So if I had developed that previously, we'd be in better shape.
For the wild.
Unfortunately, there's not much else I could do. Probably should have cleared one of those instead of going face, but the math made sense in my head at the time. Once again, just trying to put as much pressure on board. And this is where I'm saying, once again, this is... The aggro plays are still something that I'm trying to figure out in my brain just a little bit. But with Light's Justice, I guess it doesn't make as much sense. Alright, that's a little annoying. Alright, don't take out the little saplings too. That'll make them sad. Oh, that's a bad card for me. Alright, so I'm actually about to get taken down here. Second Living Roots. And the fun part about that is that we're just going to use it to deal 2 damage. Because I definitely do not have lethal.
For the wild.
This setup right here. Fortunately, he's not really threatening my life total yet. And I do have a lot of outs right now. That's not good. Well, it'd be good if I could draw a Keeper of the Grove to silence it. Is that a second Blessing of Kings? No, he's going all in on 1 creature. Alright. And this is what I'm talking about with this specific aggro deck, is that stuff like this, oh my god. Stuff like this happens a lot. I'm actually just dead. Right? I don't think I keep Shade here with coin. As cute as that could be. Question, of course, question of the day, of course, is this Handlock? And if the answer is yes, this could create some issues. I've been seeing a little bit more Zoo lately. I, of course, did not actually fix what I promised that I would fix.
Another night on the prowl.
So we'll go ahead and go on the prowl here with Panther. He can't just Dark Bomb it that way. It's like Dark Bomb and Flame Cannon are the fiery war axes that are here just so much. Even if he knocks this out, I still have Innervate to get the Druid of the Claw out. But it looks like it is Handlock, so I'm going to have to... I would love to get like my Fel Reaver out or something. part of it is that I don't want to overextend too hard in any kind of board clears, but on the other hand, you just got to work with what you have, and sometimes that means this is the hand that I've got. I don't want to really overextend beyond this. As I was saying, you always run the risk of that. So force.
Where shall I strike? Get in there and fight, maggot!
Let's smork it. Hopefully he doesn't have like double giant's taunt. That extra 2 damage could be a killer, but we'll find out. This is when you in a matchup like this where you're not necessarily favored, you've got to go for it like this, especially when I have Savage Roar, especially when I have Swipe in hand. Which if he can't taunt up anything, Mortal Coil as well. That hurts. Well, he's gotten his board clears out, but unfortunately we are beyond the early game, and we are... We're hoping that he doesn't have an anti-heal bot or anything else that can possibly get his health up in time. Because that's pretty much what it's... If that happens, that's pretty much me losing. But a lot of handlocks nowadays are running 2 Hellfire. Some of them are not even running...
So many
did he top deck a solution here? Belcher. That's good for me. See, sometimes you just gotta push for it and win. That's kind of the difference here. From where I was playing before, I was playing this. So hey, at least got a win here. This time I am seriously gonna fix the card error situation. Let's see if we can keep the momentum going.
Furion versus Gul'dan.
Your soul shall be mine! I must protect the wild.
Alright, another Warlock. I'm actually, even though I have Innervate, I'm going to ditch Savage Combatant. Oh, Fel Reaver. If I can actually Innervate out of Fel Reaver and he doesn't, like, kill it. Which I'm sure there are ways for Warlock to kill
My greeting.
the Fel Reaver. There are lots of ways. Zombie Chow kind of spells a lot of bad problems for his deck, so I am, in fact, going to sacrifice the Knife Juggler to the Zombie Chow, knowing that there is something better promised for him in the next life, called a Fel Reaver. Alright, so trade in. There we go. Give me my medicine. Keeper of the Grove, actually really good in this matchup. Innervate! Fel Reaver! You can do it. You can make this happen. The power is yours. He can try and mill me all to shit now. Or he's going to life tap and have no place. That would be wonderful. Okay, he has a play. I mean, they always take the opportunity to try and mill you somehow, somewhere. Alright, so no more Shredders. I don't need Aspirants. Let's go face. I have a Silence in case he elects to taunt up, or I have 2 damage in hand. if you can't taunt this up or do anything significant with it, like turn this into a Doomsayer, it's going to be a problem for him. In fact, okay. Interesting that that's not what he's adding. Bye-bye, set drawer. The first Force of Nature, so we can almost make this happen. Let's go ahead and put you out. And I apologize to you viewers if I just missed lethal by somehow not doing some Force of Nature. Keep it. Felt like I was one off on both. And I have two dogs who are very excited about this game. What are you all doing? Seriously, what are you doing? What are you guys doing? They're just like, oh, you're talking. Okay, so bye-bye. Second Fel Reaver. Does he have a Shadow Flame?
I've got the beast.
Oh, he's... Oh, well, where was the big game hunter before? Unless he just tapped out. Alright, that's a little annoying. Ugh. Alright, can I win this regardless of my dogs going crazy on me? Can I somehow eke out more damage? Oh, wow. Alright, so if I can just hide the shade another turn.
I must safeguard the land.
Alright, let's silence you. Let's...
For the wild.
And then do I knock him down to 1? That denies the tap. Said, I apologize once again if there was some way that I could have made this all better for me. Alright, so is that your heal? A lot of handlocks run multiple heals for multiple attacks. There we go. Alright, I've still got some outs. This is probably better.
Job's done.
If he can double heal, I'm in a lot of trouble because I want to be ending the game by now. Like I said, if there's one damage that I missed before, okay, there's a little heal. Oh, that's a... That sucks! Alright. Oh, man. I mean, what are my answers here? I'm at 14 health.
Put this apple on your head.
You gotta get some good knives. Good knives. Oh my god. That is probably still not enough to do anything resembling winning. But I mean, he had in the top of his deck more than enough answers. So the Knife Juggler RNG is on my side, but does he have a taunt for that? No. He can't kill me next turn if I can't kill him. Alright, so 3, 7, 8. That's the story of this game, man. It's like just off of lethal every few seconds. Doesn't mean it's over. I can't double swipe to victory. If he has Jiraxis, I'm boned. But I kind of already was anyway. So
Well played.
that's too bad. Alright, let's play one more and see. Like I said, it's kind of matchups that it's like I see other players do really well, and I'm just not sure if I'm just doing something incredibly wrong. Or what. Okay, a Shaman. Have not seen one of those in a while. Not at all sure how Shaman is going to play out in this matchup. I'll keep the 2 low drops. You want to try and keep the 1 drops when you can. This is actually a pretty nice curve. If I can make it work. Yeah, I'll be interested to watch that last game again and see if I missed 1 damage somewhere earlier in the matchup. Because that's 2 of my losses so far. At least playing this deck today, where I've been 1 off on lethal and then just totally lost it from there. But definitely one of the biggest counters to this deck from my experience and from watching other people play is Big Game Hunter, because it just wrecks Fel Reaver. And that game was only closer than it was because my opponent tapped into Big Game Hunter but couldn't play him until the next turn. But still, I feel justified for pushing for face damage. It's an aggro deck. That's what this deck does. It's not a face deck, but once you have control like that, you have to use it. So, like, maybe I didn't attack with a thing that I should have, a shade. Turn 1 Living Roots looks better than any of the other plays I could have made, which would involve coins or passing. I could have potentially gone Knife Juggler and all that, but we're not going to go that route today. We'll save for something else, perhaps. Not sure what he's waiting on. Unless it's my connection breaking down again. Once again, it's not a face deck. It's not a deck where it's like, okay,
What to do?
everyone just get around me or something. But, you know, at least I can't complain too much about that last game because I did have the good RNG of whatever tiny, minuscule chance there was of me hitting and killing with that Knife Juggler. But between all the taunts and everything, I have not actually seen a lot of footage of matchups where people are playing Handlock versus this deck, because most of the people that I see have watched playing this deck are already in the legend range, so probably worth it to silence that. Maybe not, because I can just swipe whatever pops out. We'll play patient. Is that a mistake? I don't know. Oftentimes these mid-range Shaman decks, assuming this is what it is, and when it's running egg, it's probably mid-range, have a lot of ways to taunt up and deal with things.
I wonder.
Okay, so there's Shredder. Now we have a much more swipeable board. That's probably the right move to swipe. Not sure what he's waiting on again. I mean, my options are to swipe and take out 1.5 for 1 card, which is not so appealing when you put it that way. I can silence the Piloted Shredder, but the Keeper of the Grove dies.
My greeting.
Not sure. Now, I do have the Force of Nature as well. I can't quite do that yet, but this is still a matchup that's all about board control, so I can't see too many better plays than this. Let's do this. It exposes the shade, but I've already got his health down a little bit. I'm not really... If he can deal with this somehow, good for him. Alright, even better. Okay, I actually have Force Combo in hand. Feels like a better turn to silence them. We'll float the 1 mana for now. Always got to be concerned about his bigger threats.
Did you bring some fish?
Is that count as one? Maybe not, but I do got to start putting some pressure on. I could just force here. Is right. Not particularly threatened by his board.
Nature's wrath.
We don't really want to eat a lightning storm, so let the spiders trade into that and then we'll go from there. Probably not the correct play, but it's plays been made. Is that an earth shock? No, it's fire elemental. Yay, Raptor. Raptor's actually really good. Wow, Raptor's even better now. Alright, and this is where I was making mistakes before with this deck that I can just turn around with now. So is there a way that I can actually have my guy live?
What to do?
Probably not. Because I can force clear. It still doesn't seem like it's the best, though.
Get in there and fight, maggot!
I can do this.
For the wild.
I feel icky.
Okay, we can try and set it for a really big play. Once again, I guess it's the problem I'm really having with Priest. Or not Priest, with Druid. It just used to really click hard with me. But if he's just gonna go for this, that might be lethal anyway. Even if it's not lethal. Whoa, let's not swipe on accident now. Even if it's not lethal. We go for it regardless because we have swipe in hand the next turn, but hey. Got the win! Alright, Priest is supposedly an unfavored matchup for this deck, and I can see why. My goal is going to be to get on as early pressure as possible.
My greetings.
And hope to goodness that he doesn't have a Shadow or Death, because if he does, that's going to be the end of me. Alright, now what's the best way to do this? Because on turn 2, I can get out the Fel Reaver. Let's try. I mean, I could coin a Spirit, which may be better if he has an answer for it. Looks like he's playing it slow. Oh, thank you.
My thanks to you.
Alright. Let's go for it and hope we don't get Shadow or Death. Because that would be lovely if I could just survive a little bit. I mean, he ditched his hand.
Is someone injured?
Alright. So let the mill game begin. Now here's the thing, if I had played a Spirit ahead of time, I would actually have a way to deal with that. But we are just going to put this down again. Seems like the right move. Okay, so there's Dragon Priest. I mean, there are dragons here. Alright. So maybe not playing a Spirit was the wrong move, because then I'd have some board presence already. Oh good, just to top deck a little bit more. So second Fel Reaver in hand. And he doesn't have any more dragons. That's actually really important information. Okay. 50% chance of good things happening. I could Savage Roar, but that doesn't do a whole ton for me that this play doesn't already do.
Elune, guide my lads.
Alright, good enough.
For the wild.
To the face again. Now, Light Bomb could be the play next turn. I don't think I missed a lethal there of some way, shape, or form. Oh, there's the death. Alright, as fun as it would be to drop the second Fel Reaver, I think the absolute right play is to take out this guy. Because last thing I want is for him to come back on the back of
For the wild.
any kind of Valen's Chosen play. Plus, even though I actually haven't lost my Force of Nature yet, but now he can't mill me of all my cards. I only have 6 cards. But I feel like with what's in hand, I do have what I need. If he's going to Cabal this...
I wield the power of black.
Okay, that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Not yet. Is it right to put this down? I mean, I could charge my bear into there.
Where shall I
Let's
start?
Because we have another charge bear next turn. I still have a swipe that I can drop somewhere as my headphones are falling apart on me, so can't hear anything that's happening now. I gotta remember that even if I try and go for some kind of all-in play, he can still heal himself.
I must consider.
But fortunately, I have a lot of good stuff still. There's Chillman. Hello, Chillman. I think that's lethal anyway. Yeah, barely. Alright. Goodbye, Chillman. And there we go. Take it. Sometimes you just gotta get the Fel Reaver turn 2, turn 3, and that just makes too much pressure for him to overcome.